Hey, I'm Charting Man Dan, trader and technical analyst, mentor with the Chart Guys. In this video, we're going to check in on the broader market where the bears had majority of the control today. We're at fresh consolidation lows in the S&P 500. Some of our lead bulls are on the verge of rolling over into confirming daily downtrends, and a ton of volatility in NVDA continues. I'll let you know how I'm looking to play it tomorrow. So the S&P 500 futures chart continuing the daily downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, making note that every bounce is rejecting from daily EMA 12. And we have our fresh lower low today. Weekly EMA 12 support coming into play, still using that as my longer term gauge as to whether this consolidation is healthy or a red flag. And again, just bigger picture, looking at the 2-week time frame. Now let's stick with the weekly. Retracement size from our last clear consolidation at this point is still over 382, which aligns near the EMA 12. NASDAQ didn't drop to the lower low yet, but also rejected from daily EMA 12 yet again, third time. And we'll see if we break the low tomorrow. We know the S&P 500 is not going to get any bear follow through if the NASDAQ does not break support as well. The only hope for the NASDAQ bulls will be a 12-hour higher low, but the bears are very confident after today. Pretty much every sector was red. We did get all major sectors at the lows together right into the end of the day in the last 40 minutes or so. And so that was a bit of an exclamation point on a bear-controlled day. And it was the 5-minute downtrend confirming. We had the NASDAQ drop, and there's your downtrend confirming control on the morning. And then we had a rising wedge here. And then that rising wedge turned into a 5-minute head and shoulders. So two bear patterns on top of each other. And that marked the lower high into the end of the day. And then we flushed. And that's when all major sectors were hitting lows together. So a nice and clear day as far as scenarios, giving us the most likely scenarios. NASDAQ, it was just an hourly lower high. Back testing EMA 12, and again, the 5-minute rising wedge and the 5-minute head and shoulders, and we were on top of it. Proof. QQQ, 5-minute rising wedge needs to become a 5-minute head and shoulders to set an hourly lower high, and I was using that to short NVDA. And I was all over NVDA today in both directions. And as I mentioned in the video yesterday, but bears want to see a gap up open. Aggressive bears to then look for the hourly consolidation. So we gapped up. The bulls did keep control for 10 minutes. And then we just dumped. And then we hit 5-minute oversold. The RSI got right down to 31 or 30. That marked the low. You can see the bulls were defending 437. 437, 34, 10, 50, 80, so a base of support right at 5-minute oversold, and the bulls followed through from there. And I was looking at this 2-minute rising wedge, and I got a real good fill. I shorted at, my fill was 448.04 on this short. And the reason I shorted the break of 448 was because my mindset is if this is a rising wedge, that bull break is going to get no follow through. And at that same point in time, 12:22, QQQ was forming the right shoulder of the head and shoulders. There's 12:22 right there. And so my mindset was, all right, if QQQ gives us a 5-minute lower high, then this NVDA chart is going to be a rising wedge. And so that's, again, day trading 101, watching the underlying, or I should say the overlying ETF having the most likely scenario there. Hourly lower high is the most likely result of the bounce. Zoom in, 5-minute bearish patterns are shaping up. I then align that with the individual name, NVDA. Anything under the high of the day at that point was an hourly lower high. And it was shaping up a bearish pattern. And I said if that aligns with QQQ, then it will shape up well. Into tomorrow, the bears are going to try and take out 437.10 first thing. If they do that, that's a daily lower high being set. And we then look for a daily higher low, and it'll be an inverse head and shoulders attempt. But possible we head into daily consolidation. Ooh, I didn't see the gap fill as well. That would have made me even more confident on the bounce. We filled that gap, built the base of support at 437, 5-minute oversold. Again, just a confluence of signals. One signal is one thing, but if you get multiple lining up, the gap fill, first 5-minute oversold, base of support keeps holding, you gain more confidence. So I'm keeping an eye out bearish on NVDA tomorrow if we can break 437.10, and anything under 447 will be an hourly lower high. And I mentioned the lead bulls are potentially shifting to join Team Bear. And right now, Amazon and Google are the captains of Team QQQ Bull. And Amazon was a lead bear today. Look at this turnaround. Amazon started the first 10 minutes strong. 5 minutes, big bull move up, and then dump. And look at Amazon. If we confirm this daily downtrend, we're in gap fill territory, and our strongest name will confirm a daily downtrend and be joining Team Bear. What does this chart remind you of? For me, it reminds me of Meta. Gap up on earnings, daily higher low set, lower high, downtrend confirmed. Amazon gap up on earnings, daily higher low set, lower high. Are we about to confirm that downtrend into gap fill? If we do, we'll then be looking at an area with a lack of support after 137. And Google is the same. Google tightening daily equilibrium, lower high trying to be set, and bears would need to break 128.17 to confirm the downtrend. And again, that's easily the two strongest names in QQQ, potentially shaping up the downtrend. Our two weakest names in QQQ out of the major names, Apple, still hovering at the lows, daily lower highs on the bounce, and Microsoft tried to have relative strength today, but unable to do much with it, still a daily downtrend. And with all that, the NASDAQ is right on top of weekly EMA 12 support at the moment. Tesla remained weak as a lead bear. Really nice top fish for the bears. Bulls showed up in the first 5 minutes. We rejected from the high of yesterday by 16 pennies. As soon as we reject and hit a new low of the day, that's it. And when you're trading in the first 15 minutes, a new high of the day or a new low of the day is your conviction move. So if you hold a support, hold the low of the previous day, and then hit a new high of the day, you gain some conviction. So as soon as that turnaround happens, the complete reversal to the new low, same thing with the Amazon bears, that's when the momentum shifts. And so now Tesla is still all bears at the low of consolidation with the next level down at 223. And just the hourly and daily downtrend remains our guide here. So Tesla remains a lead bear. Healthcare is our strongest major sector right now. Anything above 134.47 is a daily high or low, but we are struggling up at this high. 136.50s to 136.80s, we've topped out there essentially 1, 2, pretty much 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Still a daily uptrend, but if we lose the daily uptrend, that would be significant. Again, bears want to see all the stronger names join their team. We just looked at a couple individual names that are doing it, and bears want to see XLV do it as well, which is our lead bull sector. XLF was holding on well before today. Gap down. This is the second time a downgrade headline has impacted the price pretty significantly. Just keep in mind, the more that happens, the more the actual downgrades will be priced in. But a very high volume drop to weekly EMA 12. And we're watching, is this a longer term monthly lower high being set? We'll have to confirm the weekly downtrend to be sure, but it is a possibility. And IWM keeps pulling back from its triple top. It also is at weekly EMA 12, but there is space. If we confirm a weekly downtrend next bounce, whenever that takes place, it will be a monthly continued tightening range and a triple top rejection. So the door is open for the bears to try and take it here. But got to see the S&P 500 and NASDAQ lose weekly EMA 12 and then set a weekly lower high and lower low. If they do that, there are many names that are watching for long-term lower highs. And S&P 500 and NASDAQ 4-month lower highs are a possibility. They're not the probable scenario just yet. If we confirm the weekly downtrend, they will start to become potentially the probable scenario. But what I care about is the individual names that have a lot more space to work with. And there's a ton of them. Netflix, we're watching for a 4-month lower high. Meta, watching for a 4-month lower high. Tesla, watching for a 4-month lower high. There's more. Google. So all these names could potentially be shaping up these longer-term 4-month lower highs if we confirm weekly downtrends. So that's what we're watching for the rest of the year, or I guess the rest of the summer into the fall. So again, just what would that look like? Ideally, for bears, they lose weekly EMA 12, lower high, lower low. So IWM at the low of consolidation. ARKK, daily stair-step continues. No bounce in growth names today. And I was watching for a bounce in AI names first thing, and PLTR and AI broke the high of yesterday first thing. But then as soon as the NASDAQ turned around, NVDA turned around, and ARKK failed to break the high of yesterday, that was an indication that growth names were not seeing much strength on the morning. And so these growth names, look at PLTR and AI, they are potential daily bear flags. Very weak daily bounces. AI, a break of 31.65, would confirm a weekly downtrend as well, because we would likely break 31.57 right behind it. And PLTR is holding on a little bit better, but still very weak. And the crypto stocks, back to fresh lows. I talked yesterday, if the dollar shows us signs of weakness and I gain confidence in a top in the dollar being set, I'm looking long metals and crypto. That didn't happen today. And so MARA has rejected from the low 15s 3 days in a row, and it just rolled over to fresh consolidation lows. Riot is leading the way down. These high-risk, high-reward names had a great run up, and now they're giving a lot of it back. Riot at this point, from that high, is down 34%. So bears have short-term control. Really, again, the only hope for the bulls, as far as tomorrow is concerned, is a NASDAQ 12-hour higher low. Otherwise, we're looking for that bear flag to confirm, to join the S&P 500, as the bears keep short-term control. I'm not going to be able to have any confidence long the NASDAQ and S&P 500 as long as daily EMA 12 is resistance on this futures chart. After 3 rejections, that's enough to tell me that that's now my guide. And I am in some hedges in my IRA, and I was talking about potentially a 4-hour uptrend on the futures chart leading to decrease my hedge position, but at this point, it's going to be daily EMA 12. Turn that into support, and I will decrease that position. The dollar, so this was the 12-hour, and again, it's still all bulls. We're out bouncing off 12-hour EMA 12. It's just a daily inside bar. So there are no red flags on the dollar at this point, which is keeping the bulls confident. We're still watching key 103.57 resistance, but things would have to shift fairly significantly. We had another, this is twice, 2 days in a row, big pop, and it gave most of it back. Big pop gave it all back, but then a big recovery the second half of the day. That was an important last 4 hours there. Saved by the dollar bulls, and with that, the metals are still weak. Big bounce, but no trend change. Daily chart still dropping towards weekly support. And same thing for silver and the miners. Miner bears getting a bit more follow through today with the broader market weakness. So again, don't have any interest looking long the metals and the miners as long as the dollar is strong. And same as crypto. Oil, still a daily uptrend, but potentially at risk. Watching for another potential 12-hour head and shoulders. This would be the left shoulder, the head, and maybe a right shoulder forming. And again, weekly stair step the last 7 weeks. So watching for weekly consolidation to potentially shape up. Inventory report is tomorrow. The energy sector has been our lead bull. It started daily consolidation today. We'll see if there are any red flags on the size of the pullback. But again, a all-around win for the Bears today. Bears are confident in the short term, and they're just trying to put in the steps towards shifting the longer term. Still a lot of work to do there. Natural gas, daily downtrend confirmed again. Again, just a choppy mess from a technical trend perspective. Is this a megaphone? Maybe. Bull break, no follow through. Bear break, no follow through. Bull break, no follow through. Downtrend confirmed. Are we heading back down to the mid 240s? So tomorrow I'm going to be keeping an eye on NVDA volatility. I'm going to be watching to see, does Amazon confirm the daily downtrend? Does Google confirm the daily downtrend? HE. Do not trade this name unless you are an experienced trader. But there is a ton of volatility in this name. Hawaii Electric, with all the fires going on, a massive collapse on that news. And all bear control today. Even this weak bounce, 4%, but just shorten those lower highs. I'd like to see a gap down to play for an hourly bounce and then scout an hourly lower high there. But gotta use stops in both directions or it will eat you alive. Appreciate you watching. Do good things. This is the time of the year where a lot of people would be deadheading these echinacea and coneflowers, meaning cutting off the tops, but this is also what the goldfinches have been waiting for all summer because they eat those seeds. So if you leave them, the goldfish can eat the seeds. This is a crepe myrtle in all its flowering glory. People trim it back, and I'm realizing now why, because it gets extremely heavy. If there was heavy rain or wind, these branches would definitely snap. But they leave these nice magical flower petal paths. And the pollinators enjoy them.